We have meat, just go! Massive vibes right here.
Destroying the green team's superweapons before they could become fully operational would be key to capturing the islands of Fisherman's Row. In Foxhole, resource-intensive structures such as storm cannons and rocket launch sites can be used to strike from enormous distances and deny the enemy from taking certain territories. Storm cannons deter naval invasions by being able to punch holes into ships from up to a kilometer away, and rocket launch pads discourage any retaliatory launch sites from being constructed nearby. However, these structures can't be built instantly. The technology necessary for their use is typically further down the tech tree, being researched at later points of the ongoing war. They are expensive and need around 48 hours for their concrete to dry, and in the case of ballistic rockets, an additional 24 hours are necessary for fueling. They needed to be destroyed before the islands could be taken. Multiple Warden regiments would attempt naval invasions on the Blackwell beaches and directly onto the seaport of the capital of the region, the city of Idelo. Capturing Idelo, even for a moment, would greatly cripple the seaport logistics of the entire region, stopping imports for at least 48 hours as the technology is rebuilt. The surrounding smaller islands would play crucial roles in the naval invasions that followed. Notably, the islands of Fort Ember and the Satyr Stone both had observation towers, which could keep track of nearby enemy movements. Fort Ember in particular could observe the enemy at the seaport of Idelo, critical for invasions at the capital. The island would be heavily contested throughout the war, with regiments such as WMC staking their claim, as a shrine honoring their regiment's leader's cat was placed there. Throughout the war, the Colonials would build up a storm cannon in the center of the island, which would be repeatedly damaged by rocket barrages from Fort Ember. The Colonials would set up impressive arrays of rocket artillery around the island, set up to engage enemy ships and retaliate against Fort Ember. I joined multiple invasions on Blackwell's beaches, as well as every attempt that the Night Regiment made to take the city of Idelo to document the campaign. The Night Fleet was composed of the frigate, the CNS Hammer of Sean, the Longhook landing ship, the CNS Uninvited Guest, and the submarine Jongtu's Gambit. All would be used extensively for their invasions. After a few operations for softening Idelo's defenses and a failed landing operation at Blackwell Beach, Night would make their first attempt to take Idelo. The typical Idelo invasion usually involved landing tanks and infantry at the enemy seaport and taking control of that territory early on, then crossing a bridge through a defensive safehouse towards the enemy town base. Night would opt for a more direct approach, ramming the Longhook into a thin channel and having infantry swim to the right side for a more direct route to take down the enemy town base, while the armor and construction vehicles would later land at the seaport to capture it. At least, that was the plan in theory. Operation Cast the Line Again would begin. The observation tower didn't show too many Colonials at the seaport as we gathered our forces for the invasion.
I think we have been spotted.
But unfortunately, the fleet bumped into an enemy motorboat.
Well, I guess you've been spotted.
But with the whole fleet assembled, we invaded anyway.
Priority target is the town hall, then the safe house.
It looks like that motorboat tipped them off, and as we approached, a freighter got in position to block the landing ship. Our opponents were frantically bringing out vehicles and manning the guns.
Let's sponsor guys.
god.
Holy
Maybe the EMT, man.
It was a rough approach.
To the rocks! To the rocks over there!
Yep, I guess we're going through the rocks. Ow. I died.
Kill EAT, whatever. Kill the beef.
EMG down.
With the landing ship being held up, we started dropping off Marines from the frigate instead, and with the tanks they rushed to attack the enemy bunker base by the seaport. In the meantime, the landing ship was being hit from all sides.
Oh,
Grab a satchel, run to town hall. Go, go, go.
But as the tanks crossed the bridge, the landing ship finally reached the landing zone.
oh my god, it's just a pile of bodies. Ah!
The enemy pushed back and raised the bridge, cutting off our vehicles. Seeing no path to victory and a fair bit of damage to the ships, the call to retreat was made. With the incoming wave of Colonials, escape for our tanks was unlikely. They stood by as the frigate got stuck. Whether by glitch or not, it was unknown at the time.
Yeah, I think you need to fucking reverse. We're getting
We're trying to
stuck.
suck. The f***ing thing is stuck in the bugs.
The Colonials soon surrounded the trapped frigate.
I'm standing here.
yourselves.
The frigate would sink, and our remaining gunboats continued shelling the enemy seaport to buy time for the landing ship to escape. Casualties were pretty bad.
Don't stress, guys. We're doing it again tomorrow. We have another
Seriously?
frigs.
Hell yeah.
Night would return a few days later, but for now, rest in peace, CNS Hammer of Sean.
Wait, was the name of the frigate really the Hammer of Sean?
It absolutely is. One of our scoopers is named Sean, and he's done an insane job this war, so we named it after him. The logbook is the CNS uninvited guest.
And after a brief engagement with a gunboat, the Longhook would make it back to base for repairs. Night did not commit to an invasion the next day, and the Colonials poured the concrete for their storm cannon in the central island. Unless the Wardens hit it, in 48 hours the concrete would fully harden, and the storm cannon would become operational. Knight's leadership was unwilling to risk their fleet if this happened. But for now, it couldn't fire and was extremely vulnerable to damage while the concrete was wet. The storm cannon was outside of naval artillery range, but Fort Ember had the rocket artillery with the range to hit it. The storm cannon would gain more damage resistance as the concrete hardened, but every time it was destroyed in this state, it would effectively be reset and turned into a husk. Destroying the husk would completely destroy the storm cannon, but husks could soak up a lot more damage, and the Colonials would out-repair any rockets we threw at them. As long as the husk survived, they could pour more concrete on and start the whole hardening process all over again, without losing all of their expensive rare metals in the husk. Concrete was a lot cheaper than rare metals. Colonial destroyers and massive arrays of rocket artillery would constantly hit Fort Ember to deny these rocket strikes. So I paid a visit to Fort Ember.
I mean, what's an island but just a big unsinkable boat?
Fort Ember had been seeing quite a lot of action at its beaches, and would be constantly subjected to rocket barrages from the main island.
Holy that's a lot of damage.
Colonial destroyers would also frequently join in the chaos.
I think this place has been rebuilt like 19 times so far. This ain't
Fort of Theseus?
Hey man, I'm basically a soldier of Theseus at this point.
Fort Ember had to stay standing to keep the enemy's storm cannon down. It was one of the few ways we could keep naval invasions possible. Fort Ember would survive the next few days as Night got ready for its next operation. 4 days after their first attempt, Night was heading back to Idelo. Tanks were loaded up in Stone Cradle to meet with the main invasion fleet. Surprisingly, the CNS Hammer of Sean would be joining them. 3 days after the ticket was submitted, the devs revived the ship, due to it being deemed that a glitch got the boat stuck, leading to its demise. It was then rechristened as the CNS Wrath of Sean. Operation I Don't Learn From My Mistakes was a go. However, a nearby observation tower spotted an enemy boat near the fleet. We stopped the fleet and watched as the enemy boat traveled south. The fleet carried on, and it didn't look like Idelo was tipped off at all. So, we prepared to land.
Everybody on the long hook, listen up. You are disembarking on the right-hand side of the long hook. There will be stairs for you to climb up. You need to split up evenly. Go for the town hall and the safe house. There will also be one G-house for you to kill. The frigate will open the way for you.
D-hook vibes right here.
I bet Devman's watching us right now. Hi, Devman.
Dude, I want to be in a Dead Man video. Actually, I don't know what it was.
We're gonna be on the TikTok.
Man, man.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, boys! Salute! Say hi to that man! Wait, that's me! Let's go, boys!
We should probably kill
Jump off.
It looks like we caught them off guard this time. The emplacements weren't even manned.
Straight to town hall?
The town hall! The town hall!
Go town hall, just run in, plant inside everyone. Okay, everyone get inside.
Traffic.
We quickly planted all of our satchel charges in the town hall.
Town hall dead, follow me.
Town hall's dead.
The gamble was paying off.
Be quick, boys, be quick.
There's a guy. Border.
Grab satchels, gun.
Go inside the black box. Oh.
Who needs heals?
The safe house went down and we were going straight through their defenses.
Hey, infantry, you gotta kill the core.
We destroyed the town base and the safe house. Our next objective was the seaport bunker base.
Oh my god. Is that a scorpion?
What's happening?
We need to get it. That's what.
Everyone get in the iron tape!
Come on, push.
We have meat! Just go! We have meat!
The core is almost down.
A few of us were getting through, but the Longhook decided to move to a better spot for us to land right next to the core. The core was down. Our next objective was to finally capture the town hall.
Oh, it's a bloodbath.
I'm tanking here.
Nice.
Keep pushing southwest, go southwest,
Foreman, I need you.
Cecil, I need you.
Our construction vehicles began to capture the town base. The enemy then opened up with their artillery.
Oh, come on. Oh, medic. I don't know how I'm not dead. That rocket hit me square in the face.
You got a strong face.
While we did have people hunting down the artillery in the hills, we were almost out of respawn tokens. We tried to keep our construction vehicles repaired, but the artillery proved to be too much. We've lost the construction vehicles. Operation's over.
The infantry's gonna stay here as long as possible while the ships pull out.
The ships began to pull out, while the infantry bought time.
Cool, empty house, that's fine. We achieved secondary objective, it's fine.
They should add a fishing minigame to Foxhole.
The fleet eventually made it home safe and sound.
We'll probably go again tomorrow night, to be honest. They'll never expect a third attempt, surely.
While it was initially reported that we were 50 BMATs away from capturing Idelo, this was later upgraded to 10. We were so close. So of course, Knight would try again. 2 days later, with the storm cannon still out of commission, Knight began attempt number 3. we were going to run straight into the town hall again. The entire first wave was hampered by a few rows of barbed wire.
So much freaking barbed wire.
Okay, we need a few guys with wrenches and a few guys who can keep spamming smoke grenades. We need to wrench all this.
Using wrenches to slowly cut the barbed wire was our only option. We'll need a lot of smokes to cover us. They didn't even need to aim. I threw the smoke a little late once, and well... But no matter what, we weren't getting through. They'd pushed us all the way back to the ship. So we decided to pass through the long way instead, through the bridge and an enemy safe house.
Oh my god. Truck!
What's happening, boys?
So,
What's happening? Get in there, boys!
no!
While a few of us would make it to the other side, most didn't. The artillery was zeroed in, and eventually the call to retreat was made.
Prep damage con, prep damage con.
We licked our wounds, but this would be the last attempt to take Idelo. The storm cannon would finally finish being built, discouraging Knight from making another attempt.
That's 1,300 warden deaths an hour.
It was a bath of blood. I then paid another visit to Fort Ember, and after some naval action, I joined the rocket team. They were launching barrages with rockets that were produced at a facility on the island.
I say those damn savages love our rockets.
DevMan caught some footage of that.
Well, let's go get more rockets.
More!
After launching our rockets, we'd drive to a pit crew by the factory to reload.
Pit crew!
Yay!
I then saw a peculiar sight.
So this is the spot you guys been sniping the storm cannon from, right? Like,
Yes.
how is it not dead?
Everyone inside the bunker, inside the bunker, inside the bunker, inside the bunker, inside the bunker.
The trenches were pretty good at keeping the rocket truck from being blown up by retaliatory howitzer fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Howies.
I think we're hitting all the howitzers with based on like how much fire they're dropping on us.
Unfortunately, while this tactic has worked in the past, this time it wasn't enough and the storm cannon would finish drying. With the Colonials storm cannon now operational, Idelo was off limits. Ships that got too close would be easily sunk by it. However, Blackwell's beaches were still open for attacks. Storm cannons had a minimum range of around 400 meters depending on wind conditions. Landings were still possible within that minimum distance. Several Warden regiments had been conducting invasions at Blackwell's beaches to reach Idelo from the north instead. I joined one of these invasions. 3 siege tanks, 4 flame tanks, and 2 cruiser tanks. The amount of hardware involved was insane.
Oh my god, that's a long shot.
The invasion was going extremely well.
We have stuff behind us. Make sure they can't kill us with
It didn't take long for us to torch everything.
Okay, it's dead. Bro, you're on fire.
But soon the enemy brought a tank column to repel us.
Come on! Boom!
Our frigate was destroying the enemy defenses, so we could push out and make a perimeter around the town base. We'd managed to capture Blackwell's town base.
For once, you're good luck, bro.
For once.
We got the mission, good job. Go dehusk whatever you can. Go cause as much mental, physical damage to the collies as you can. Enjoy it.
Then, a Colonial snuck past us and started stealing the barges carrying our construction vehicles.
Hell no.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, no, I'm on fire. Good thing there's water everywhere. Oh,
And somehow, the casualty rate wasn't that bad.
There's a biker gang. They're hitting us with bikes, boys. They're going around with shotguns, like Warden shotguns and bikes. They drive-bys.
However, the Colonials would start pushing back hard, so we had to call for a retreat.
Not gonna lie, it might be worth throwing up some sandbags or something on those shore for our final stand.
An enemy large ship was spotted approaching our position, and our supporting frigate had no more capability to fight. We had to go.
We make our final stand here! Get behind!
oh,
Get behind, people! Get behind the sandbags! We make our final stand here! We die in hell tonight! We go to Valhalla! We take as many of them as we f***ing can with us!
oh.
I don't know how the hell I'm alive right
What the hell is this?
They want a kiss.
No, 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 no!
now. We held the line valiantly.
Captain Blackwell was, the whole goal there, and we PV'd out a ton of so this was a whole complete success.
The Colonials would then take Fort Ember from us with a naval invasion. The Colonials laid the concrete for a second storm cannon. And once that concrete dried, the two storm cannons would cover each other's minimum ranges and effectively lock off Fisherman's Row from naval invasions entirely. An operation to take down at least one storm cannon needed to happen. The 11 ERC Regiment would spearhead the landing, bringing a long-hook landing ship and an extremely expensive bluefin logistics ship. Essentially, a mobile seaport stocked with a massive amount of supplies and vehicles. After some debate, the operation lead would decide to land the bluefin in early, as waiting until a beachhead was secure would put them at the mercy of the queue or at that of the storm cannon. Getting all the landing assets into the storm cannon's minimum range unharmed was necessary. The landing ships would be covered by 3 frigates, with 1 arriving late as a reserve, and 2 submarines were stationed at the borders of neighboring regions to intercept enemy ships. The Wardens loaded up the fleet and made their way to what was deemed to be the less defended beach of Blackwell, its western shore.
We ain't f***ing around this time. Ember will be free. Fisherman's will be free. Idelo will be f***ing blue.
The beach didn't have any concrete defenses. However, it was littered with mines and barbed wire, slowing down what needs to be an exceptionally fast attack. For this invasion, we opted to use the Colonials' own grenade launchers against them.
Go, 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 go!
Nice!
With the first set of defenses cleared, the infantry could quickly go around the barbed wire, but the second row of defenses proved to be a little bit more challenging, especially since our tanks were still stuck on the beach until we defused these mines.
Oh, that's a storm cannon!
The storm cannon opened fire on the fleet as the bluefin rushed to get within its minimum range. Luckily, the bluefin arrived unscathed.
Make room for the bluefin! Okay, we're good.
Our tanks could finally get off the beach, but the Colonials' tanks just arrived. We were now being boxed into the beach. The Colonials' response was a fully committed one.
There's millions of them!
Not enough, clearly.
Oh my god.
China.
Medic!
Oh no! Not the PT!
Oh, good save, good save.
The bluefin started to pull back as we held the beach for the last time. The long hook would pull out as well, but the enemy storm cannon still hasn't overheated yet.
Oh my.
Metal beam, metal beam.
Did Bluefin get large hole?
Yes, yes,
Where is Bluefin decon going?
The storm cannon managed to hit the bluefin. It had a large hole now. And the enemy started scrambling their large ships. The fleet would make it out in time, but with the full knowledge that there would be no more invasions of Fisherman's Row. However, towards the end of the war, the Wardens would make an attempt to at least retake Fort Ember. The casualty rate was enormous, and the human wave tactics were proving less and less successful.
Ah, no, the fire.
Death and glory.
Death.
We just summarized the whole Pacific War. We died on Elusive Island.
Dude, on Foxhole 6, our death rate peaked at 1900 an hour.
However, in the week preceding that invasion, the Wardens would make incredible gains, suggesting an end to the war soon. But Fisherman's Row would remain green. The Colonials would ship in materials in armed convoys with decoy freighters to build a third storm cannon and a second underground fortress. Both sides would then prepare launch pads for ballistic rockets. With the Colonials building parts for the nuke on the island itself, it was now a race to see who could mount their nuke on their launch pad first, to start a 72-hour countdown to launch. However, while their rocket parts were still 15 minutes away, the Wardens spotted a convoy of 3 flatbeds heading to the Colonial launch pad. The race was on. At this time, a player that solo scooped a long hook was trying to land partisans all over Fisherman's Row in an attempt to destroy a storm cannon. Command urged them to redirect and ram the ship into Idelo to make as much noise as possible to delay the Colonial nuke. The battle was quick and the long hook would manage to retreat with a single large hole above the waterline. Both sides would then place their rockets on their respective launch pads to begin fueling them, with the Wardens placing theirs just 6 minutes and 47 seconds ahead of the Colonials. Bruh, the regiment that placed down the Colonial nuke would comment that the landing did not delay them at all, even if some initially thought it did. Rather, there was a miscommunication during the manufacturing process that cost them time. But it wasn't over yet. The fueling process could still be interrupted on both sides, and the rockets can still be taken down by extreme action. Idelo and Conclave were now under threat. The Wardens would then hatch a daring plan to destroy the nuke. With it clearly being the last few days of the war, all bets were off. The WN regiment would trade or donate their battleship for a stolen super heavy tank, and a crew was scrapped together from multiple regiments. The nuke was normally out of battleship range, but with the perfect wind conditions, it could just barely be reached. The Wardens waited 6 hours for the wind, and then slammed the battleship into the cliffside to gain as much range as possible. The nuke would be destroyed, the battleship would get stuck, then sink, and the Warden nuke would launch, all in the last half day of the entire war. I know I couldn't cover everything, especially the naval battles, but the scope of this video is getting way too wide.